I'm paying attention. All right, we are live. So hello there out there. Um, I am. Ah, there I am. There I am. Okay, good morning, everybody out there in virtual land, and let me know that you can see and hear me when you can see and hear me. I would appreciate that. And we have a little bit of a delay, but it is, I think this is a holiday weekend, President's Day weekend. Yes. So Angela, hello, you won again. So you have won a special spiritual mind treatment, and so have you, David. So welcome. Good morning, you two. Okay. All right, so we're here. We're ready. Let's get right into it. Tesvarakanta is coming, and we've been hearing a need for clarity, clarity, clarity. So Tesvarakanta is about clarity, but why not start now? Okay. So this word is being spoken for each one, and if there is anyone or any place on the planet that you would like included, just think of their name now or that place now, and know that the infinite mind knows what you mean, and they are included too. Because there is an infinite mind, infinite, which is beyond human imagining. This infinite mind is everywhere present. It knows all. It knows every single detail, and all of it knows all. Nothing is missing, nothing is outside of it. This one mind does not neglect, does not overlook, and it is not overwhelmed. So right away, any belief that anyone may have that God's too busy to be focused or thinking about anything in their world, that's obviously a falsehood if an infinite mind is omnipresent and is aware and alert at every aspect of expression. And so any belief in that limited thinking in the mind of God is erased, vanished, gone forever. An infinite mind, beyond what the human consciousness can imagine. This is the mind that is recognized right now. This mind, in its self-knowing, creates everything in the universe, maintains everything in harmony and balance with everything else. This is the intelligence. This is the infinitude that is present. And this is the mind that each one is using. And so this mind is crystal clear about what it is creating. It divines whatever is created to the exact detail required for the thing to be. And that includes each one. This infinite mind is designing each one completely with every detail taken into account. And that detailness includes the interaction of everyone with everyone else. Only an infinite mind can know instantly all of the connections and all of the links that are always active and present and everything moving. This infinite mind knows it all. So with all that it knows, it must know with clarity because of the brilliance of its expression of what it has created. And so that's true of each one here. Right now, right where each one is, this infinite mind is knowing with crystal clarity what it desires to know that causes each one to even be in expression for one's very gift of life. And in every detail, there is nothing overlooked, not a pimple, not a spot. All of it is infinitely known by this infinite mind, but in exact, clear detail. The crystal clarity of thinking of this one mind is unaffected by how much it has created. So this mind is present, thinking of each one with crystal clarity always, all the time. So any belief that in mind there is confusion is not the truth of this infinite thinker, this crystal clear thinker. And the truth is, this crystal clarity is being thought right where each one is. And so there is that conscious thinking that each one is aware of and has choice over, and present in this thought, in the depths of this thought, is this infinite thinker that is causing each one to be. This crystal clarity is right where each one is. It is in the thought of each one. Regardless of what the conscious thought may be thinking or thinking about what it's thinking, this clarity of infinite mind is thinking with clarity. So the truth for each one is clarity is present always. So if someone might be thinking they're confused or unsure, or they don't know, or vagueness, or belief that one has a lack of focus, the truth is the infinite mind is thinking with crystal clarity. Otherwise, each one would not be, and each one is. So this clarity is. And because that clarity is present, it can be recognized. And this recognition of the crystal clarity of the one divine mind present within each one affects the conscious thought of each one, so that each one is thinking with greater conscious clarity than ever before. And with this conscious clarity, each one is receiving and aware of and of the ever-present infinite guidance that is always coming from the divine clarity of one mind. Each one being aware of this inner guidance, this wonderful guidance is therefore on the path of moving in harmony and in balance and in order, successfully, healthfully, wealthfully, in every way, fully supported in expressing this life. Each one is in right relationship with everything else. Each one is in that flow of life from good to greater good, fully supported in every way, because this infinite mind is infinite. Infinite potential is everywhere present. That infinite potential is present right where each one is. This is prosperity, being aware of the infinite possibility that is always present. There is always a way. There is always a path. There was always the support. And with crystal clarity, each one is now aware in a greater way and clearer way than ever before that this business of living is divinely designed in a healthy, orderly, harmonious way, a way where perfect right order and divine right action is omnipresent. And each one is now aware of this divinely orchestrated, perfect right order, divine right action, and their place in it. Each one is clear about anything and everything. Each one is clear about any question that they have in their mind. The answer is given. Any decision that anyone has to make, that right choice is present. Each one is aware of that right choice. There are no big decisions or little decisions there, because this infinite mind can create a giant planet and a teeny little atom. To this infinite mind, it is all equally an expression of itself that it knows completely. And so each one is knowing the truth of themselves, hearing that divine wisdom within in this infinite mind with its great clarity, but each one is also accepting the truth of themselves, accepting the gift of life that he or she has been given, the desires that have been planted in their heart, and accepting that there is guidance always there, showing each one how to experience co-creating the fulfillment of the desires within their heart. Each one is fully supported, fully supplied. This divine mind creating each one, stays with each one, is with each one, supporting, sustaining, and maintaining each one in harmony, successfully, and in health and in vitality, in that eternal ideal of youth that is, I am that I am. And each one is now knowing whatever it was that he or she desired to know, thinking whatever it is that he or she desired to think, remembering what needs to be remembered, releasing what needs to be released, always crystal clear in intention, in acceptance of that which is in the heart, and in expressing that which is one's unique experience, expression of life, and clear about what to do, what to say, where to be, who to be with in each and every moment. And so each one's life is a life of harmony, of success, of balance and order, of everything working perfectly, everything, including technology, everything working perfectly. And out of the infinite possibilities, the infinite potential, each one is always clearly guided and aware of that choice that is for his or her highest and greatest good, which of course is the highest and greatest good of all. This is the truth. I am grateful that this is the truth. It is the experience now for in, through, and as each one, and so I let it go, done, and so it is. And that's the way it is.
Open myself with sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I open myself in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening. I'll open myself in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I open myself in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening.
So let's take a moment and open ourselves in sweet surrender to that which is in the heart, that luminous love light that is of that one. And whatever it is that we desire to receive today, to receive as fulfillment, manifestation, demonstration, miracles, who cares? Just open to that law of creation working through you, and let's see how we are changed by that.
I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening.
Good morning, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Princeton. We are a loving, healing, and inclusive community which teaches and practices the principles of the science of mind for the spiritual growth of ourselves and the world. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. We have a lot of things that we can welcome you to this morning, and I hope that we all start off with each one of us welcoming ourselves, right? The world presents lots of things to us. What do we welcome ourselves to? So now is a really good time to stop and think, what are you welcoming yourself to this morning? Why have you joined this celebration of the Divine Presence? And what would you like to welcome yourself to? What we welcome you to is a whole lot of things. Tuesday evening, Susan Neat is doing her evening inspiration at 7:30, and this week she'll be continuing to talk about the Beatitudes. On our website and on our Facebook page, you'll find all the details if you'd like to participate in that. Next Sunday, Mardi Gras is coming. Mardi Gras is coming, and so is Reverend Janice Ballera, who a lot of you have heard before. She's a wonderful speaker, and she's going to be giving a Mardi Gras-themed talk entitled Unmasked. How often do we pretend to be something we are not in order to gain love and approval, and thereby abandon our true nature? When we remove our masks, we stop seeing limitation and separation, and the face of God can be revealed through and as us. So, a wonderful talk, something really to look forward to. And at the end of that talk, here at the Masonic Temple in Princeton, we're going to be doing Mardi Gras. There'll be lots of food. Somebody's making gumbo. Somebody's making deviled eggs. Somebody's making chocolate cake. So there'll be lots of food. Please come and join us. This is something that we welcome you, and we hope that you welcome yourself to. Come and join us. If you plan to come, it would really help us if you let us know. All the information will be on our Facebook page, and you can let us know through that. And talking about Mardi Gras and the Lenten season that's coming, Reverend Karen is doing her Tessera Cantor practice that she does every year. And if you have never participated in it, here's an opportunity for you to welcome yourself to something that's really easy to do, that will really deepen your own spiritual practice. What it is that every day, starting on March 2nd through Sunday, April 17th, Reverend Karen will be doing a call at 7:45 every morning, and she'll be focusing on clarity, using the teachings of Dr. Ernest Holmes, our founder. If you're not awake or not available at 7:45, she will also send an email every day with a link so that you can listen to that call, and also a copy of the call in the email. It's a really wonderful practice, because every day, talk about welcoming ourselves. The world calls us in a lot of different ways, and the choices we make, what we welcome ourselves to, is what shows up as our lives. And so here's an opportunity for 40 days, 15 minutes a day. You can find 15 minutes in your day to, again, listen to the call for a deeper truth in your life. And, okay, we say a deeper truth. Also for more happiness, more joy, more abundance, all of those things. Reverend Karen will be focusing on clarity during this whole period. That's what the talks will be about. I know that for myself, it's something to really hold on to every day. I look forward to it every day. I don't get to join at 7:45 every morning. Sometimes the dog just wants to be walked at that time. But I make sure to listen, and I save those talks. I listen to them afterwards. So it's a way for you to really connect and welcome yourself to more. I always think that what we teach is that God is increased good, constantly increasing good. At every moment, our lives are starting again, right? Every moment, we can make a choice for increased good. And that's what Tesseraconta is about. Every day, presenting the idea of how we can have greater clarity in our lives. And Reverend Karen does this as a service to the community. It is pretty wonderful, I can tell you. And it will lift you up in the ways that you want to be lifted up. So all the information about that will be on our webpage, cslprinceton.org, and it will be on our Facebook page, CSL Space Princeton. And all you do is you fill out a little form that Reverend Karen has prepared, send it in. She will be doing spiritual mind treatment for each person during this whole 40-day period, and get a wonderful message to welcome you to more in your life. Let's see, have I covered everything? Oh yeah, did I mention there'll be Mardi Gras food next week? So don't miss it. Please come on down to the Masonic Temple in Princeton and join us for Reverend Janice's talk, and lots of food, and Tesseraconta. And today, it's time to welcome yourself to our practitioner of the day, Susan Neat, and to Reverend Karen's talk. Thank you very much.
Crawfish pie, filet gumbo, jambalaya. You gotta go. Jambalaya.
All right.
Everywhere I am is holy ground, for I walk in love. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for the power and the presence of your spirit makes my path gentle and easy. Gentle, easy. Gentle, easy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for I walk in peace. For I am holy ground, for the power and the presence of your spirit makes my path gentle and easy. Gentle, easy. Gentle, easy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for I walk in joy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for the power and the presence of your spirit makes my path gentle and easy. Gentle, easy. Gentle, easy.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Susan Neat. I'm a practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living. And today I'm going to read a few inspirational words and take you through a little bit of a guided meditation inspired by me feeling unloving. And when I feel unloving, I know I'm feeling separate from my source. Emerson says God is love. And so what I do when I'm in these times of judging people or feeling angry about what's going on in the world, I go to the books. I go to the books. If I can't do anything else, the books of our beloved mystics and mentors. And then I let them guide me. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to read something first by Ernest Holmes about love. Love is within us. It cannot be destroyed, but it can be ignored. To the extent that we abandon love, we feel it has abandoned us. Denying love is our only problem, and embracing it is the only answer. And then I read that this morning, and I'm still feeling separate, and I found another little gem by Annalise Sharon in a book she wrote called Ye Are Gods. And this sort of put it together for me. As each day unfolds, we have the power to gather it into our arms, to bless it, to glorify God for letting us live it, instead of permitting it to live us, as so often is the case. This is our power to transform each day. When the mind can be turned into a transforming center, we can take every thought and transmute it into love, so that every condition is blessed and every discordant word and thought can be turned into light. So with those words in our consciousness, I invite you to participate in a Joel Goldsmith meditation. So let's find that comfortable spot where we feel supported and close our eyes if it's available to us. Take a few deep breaths, feeling that indwelling spirit. And exhale, releasing anything that you can release to feel relaxed. And I'm going to speak these words in the first person that you can embrace them as your own. This is about you. Now I see the Spirit of God within me, and I pay no attention to my human foibles or my apparent human failings. I pay no attention to that which is irking or irritating me. I pay no attention. For this moment, I am not paying attention to any of that, because now I am beholding the Spirit of God, the Christ consciousness within. I know that the Spirit of God indwells me. I know I am love expressed. I know I am an expression of divine love. I am love. And I love to let love express through me. And as we sit in this presence of love, the connection of love within each of us, with each other, I invite you now to consider an aspect of your life, of someone you know, a situation that you are feeling unloving toward. And we're going to take that meditation with that person or that situation in mind. As we now have opened ourselves to loving ourselves and knowing that divine love is present within us, let's see now that we can hold that truth for someone else, some other organization, some other thing. So sitting in this presence of love, I invite you to pay no attention to whatever human aspect or foible this individual has or this organization has. Pay no attention to that. Sit with an open heart and recognize that in all things and all beings is the presence of love. So open your heart and your mind to seeing that in this person that you have named or this organization. And let yourself embrace the feeling of love within you toward that person or individual. And experience that unity that love creates. Because if love is all there is and God is love, God is omnipresent. So in the presence of this person or organization or thing is love. And it is your love. It is divine love. It is love expressed. So sit for a few moments in that space of love. That space that you gathered for yourself, and that space that you gathered for someone else or something else. And just sit. And as you sit in this loving place, I speak these words for each one here, each one present virtually or in person, knowing that there is only love. And where there is love, there can be no fear. Love is omnipresent. Love is all there is. And love is opening the hearts of each one here to the accepting of their truth. And this truth that sets them free from the false belief of anger or judgment. The false belief of feeling less than or feeling unloved or feeling unloving. Love is the miracle of life. Love opens the doors to all possibilities. And each one here, the door is open, the light is shining, the world is illumined because love is omnipresent. Love is the only one power. Love is the light of the world. And each one accepts this, each one embraces this, each one feels this. Each one loves to let love express. Each one expresses love in everything that they do. Each one accepts the gift of love in all of its fullness. Love is present. Love is all there is. So with open heart and with great gratitude, I know these words are true. I accept these words as the truth, and I release them, and we can all say together, and so it is. Namaste.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. When all fear and worry all away from me, I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that is, that will set us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I fear I've lost my way, then I go inside and quiet my mind. I can hear gently, sweetly say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that is, that set us free. There is only love.
Okie dokie. So we're feeling the love. So this, I guess, is the third in my Back to the Basics series about what the science of mind is really about. And I said, I had a couple different versions of the title, Love and Law, and then I changed it recently to Love versus Law, Who Wins? And the reason why I did that was because in my teaching of the science of mind these 25 years, early on in classes or in being here in this spiritual community, I would hear from someone the complaint or the criticism that the science of mind does not have the love in it. And they would leave to go find the love being practiced somewhere else. And I realize that that error is made because when Dr. Ernest Holmes brought out his science of mind teaching, the circumstances in the world were that no one understood the way the law of creation works. He assumed that everybody knew about love, and what they were missing was an understanding of the creative law. So his whole book, The Science of Mind, is to focus on the creative activity that is always present. But people who knew Dr. Ernest Holmes would say he was just pure love himself. So that probably as a personality, when he was, and he had, thousands of people coming to hear him speak, they were hearing his words talking about the law and the way the law works, and reading his writing about the law, but his whole presence was the love. He loved people. There's stories about every Saturday, anyone who wanted to come over to the house, he would come over to the house and he'd make this big pot of chili or soup or whatever, and he would just love to talk to people, that he loved people, talking with them, connecting with them, and that's just who he was. So, as most of us do, we tend to talk about what we're interested in, but we don't feel a need to talk about who we are, because that's just a part of who we are. So, but in his book, he does talk a lot about love. But what we want to realize, first of all of us, we're living here in the relative world. And so what we have as an experience is our opinions of love and our opinions of law. But when we're talking about the absolute, about the divine love and the divine law, there's no opinion about it. Love, law, is omnipresent. And I'm trying to find where in this, because I keep looking in this Ernest Holmes Science of Mind book, but he says love is an essence, an atmosphere, which defies analysis, as does life itself. It is that which is and cannot be explained, and it's common to all people, all animal life, and it's supreme over all. Love is omnipresent. What we tend to do as human beings in our opinion of love is we tend to limit it to how I'm feeling. If I'm not feeling the love, love's not there. But love is that feeling that we go for, but it's also everything else. It's what holds atoms together. Love is the cause of things being created. And love and law cannot be separated. because to love, and Ernest Holmes' definition of love is the self-givingness of spirit. To love and desire to give of yourself and not have a way, a law through which we can give, would be agonizing, unsatisfying. So love must be satisfied. And the law makes the satisfaction possible. The love that human beings feel, and everything else, is to be ourselves, to give what we've got, give ourselves. You know, and the law makes it possible. How can that be separated? For those of you who've been here for 25 years, you may have noticed that I released this word to, I've altered it. I released this word to the law and it is done. But as I've contemplated love and law, I say I release this word to the loving law. And I desire to know the lawful love. They're one thing, life itself. And so as human beings, when we separate these two, we get into trouble. And we can feel ourselves rebelling against the law and needing more love. And the only way to experience more love is to accept love's law. And the primary law is that what we focus on is created. And so it behooves us to focus on the love to be created. So the law is a principle, omnipresent, that is always at work, causing the whole universe and everything in it to move and to make expression possible. And why express anything is love. Because, I gotta be what I gotta be. I am who I am. We are unsatisfied, we are frustrated, we get angry when we cannot express who we are. And so the basics of science of mind require us to get a clearer understanding of what aspect of life are we missing. But it's all in the science of mind. Spinoza defined love as knowing. To know something is to love it. And so that use of that word know, it sounds like a mental activity, but when we know something, we embody it. We embrace it. We have completely given ourselves to it. And so he was completely focused on knowing God or loving God. They're synonyms. And so when we talk about the science of mind, one error that a lot of us do is we think, am I in my head or am I in my heart? As if you can only be in one place. And we tend to associate the head with the law and the heart with the love. We're not separated. And mind is not just the head. Mind is what is in the heart. Mind is all. It's life. And when we know something, in a sense, what we can think of is that we are thinking so thoroughly about something that it becomes who we are, right? We say, when we bring someone into our heart, we are knowing that person and bringing them into our heart. It's an act of love. So in the science of mind, to get the biggest bang for your buck of this teaching is to realize that we might start out with our opinions of what love and law is and get all excited about the law and want to manifest all these great things that we want. I want to be successful. Oh boy, do I want money. The law of attraction, right? Let's go to town. And all you have to do is focus on what you want and you get it. Da-da, 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 da-da. And that, we get a lot of mileage out of that because there's a lot of backed up good that we haven't received in our life because we didn't understand the lawful expression of life, the way that the law works. However, at a certain point, that whole aspect of who we are, our qualities, we have got to start paying attention to. And so we think begin to realize that, okay, I got the law, I know how to manifest the law, demonstrate the law, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I think about this one woman, I don't know who she is, but I certainly knew her cat, Grumpy Cat. And there was an article about her in some printed material back then when Grumpy Cat came out. I don't know what the printed material was, but she was practicing The Secret, the book The Secret, which is the law of attraction. And she was visualizing being prosperous and abundant and da-da-da-da. She was discovering the law of creation and using her mental thinking to see herself abundant and prosperous. And she was a waitress at the time, and she somehow got this cat deformed, a genetic defect Siamese cat with short little legs and a permanent grump of a face. And the little girl would just waddle along like this. And her brother came to visit and saw that cat and said, "Oh my gosh, this is a face for the internet." And he put that cat on the internet. Boom. The next big meme was born. And this grumpy cat catapulted her out of her job. The cat was making so much money that she did not have to work as a waitress anymore. And she was invited for all these different celebrities who wanted to have a picture holding Grumpy Cat. Some of you have given me gifts, T-shirts. The big thing is the picture of the cat that would just say, "No." That was all Grumpy Cat. But toward the end, I mean, Purina was using Grumpy Cat, and she would have a picture on Facebook of Grumpy Cat in an exclusive 4-star hotel, in luxury, just all grumpy. And eventually a Christmas movie, a made-for-Christmas movie was made starring Grumpy Cat, which I had to see because I'm a big Grumpy Cat fan. Well, Grumpy Cat made her transition about a year or so ago. And I wonder about the woman who had been using the law of attraction and knowing that for herself, and all this wonderful things happened to her. But see, it's over. And where is she now? What is she doing now? I'm sure I could find her if I Googled her and I'd find out her whole story, whatever. But Grumpy Cat. I love that cat. I still love that cat. Does she realize the love that was always present? So at a certain point, we use the law, we direct the law, we get all excited about the law, but we come to a stop, a point of no more growth is happening. People in the Science of Mind teaching might even experience, my treatments aren't working anymore. And it's because our opinion about who we are, our opinion of love is too small. That we have to know how the allness of love is present within us. And that's where, instead of coming up with our great ideas of the way we think our lives should look, and let me treat for this and treat for that. I mean, when I first came into this teaching, I was, one of the best who thought, I can stay my same old grumpy self and have everyone around me change. That was my plan. I was fine and change everybody all around me, but I could be my same old self. I didn't see a need to change myself. I was fine. It was the world that was the problem. And yes, we get a lot of mileage with that because we need to understand the law. But at a certain point, We need to know ourselves, who we really are, and who we really are is life, love, light, power, peace, beauty, harmony, order, joy. We are these divine qualities, and so we start turning to that which made us, this love itself, that love that we feel as desire in our heart, but we start turning to it, this something, to guide us as to what do we really want. Ernest Holmes says in his book, it's the big chapter, and if you're a ministerial student, probably practitioner too, you need to have this memorized. Love points the way, and law makes the way possible. And so instead of saying, I need more money, let me treat for more money, I need this problem to go away, I need more health, I need this whatever, at a certain point we start morphing, transforming into going, like, right? The more that we think we know about life, the less we know. And we become open to listening now, to listening. What does love that is omnipresent, that love that is within me, what is it guiding me to do, to have, to be? So instead of fixing our lives and all of our little problems, yeah, we keep doing that. We're not created to have problems, but the self-givingness of spirit in us requires us to give of ourselves, and if we think we're a little thing, we can only give so much, and therefore demonstrate so much in what we experience. And so if we think we're unlovable, then we experience that. But it's a lie, because we are love. But I'm not feeling lovable. So what? So what? You are lovable. We are lovable. Every one of us. Lovable, lovable, lovable. But I'm feeling unlovable. It's a blockage to who we are. It's not the truth of who we are, and it will block the activity of the law, because the law creates what we know, what we love. Love, know. Synonyms. The law creates what we love. The law creates what we know. We need to know we are love. And then listen to that. Listen to its guidance. That great question. What would love do here? What would love say? Once I finally stumbled onto this whole thing, I call on divine love. Show me the way. Because Ernest Holmes says, love points the way. Love can't point the way. Divine love cannot point the way if I'm busy pointing the way with my opinion and my belief that I'm unlovable. So if I believe I'm unlovable and I'm pointing the way, where's love pointing the way? The law's making whatever I'm pointing possible, but it's coming from I'm not lovable. So anyway, it's just going to be a mess. As Ernest Holmes and others have said, love without wisdom creates chaos. And the law without love creates a mess. It just doesn't work. They have to be together, because love is who we are, and the law is a principle that allows us to experience what we are knowing about ourselves. And so in the more advanced teachings of the science of mind, not that it's more complicated or you've graduated, now you're in graduate school, but in the practice of the science of mind, boy, it just begins to really take hold when, as a student practicing the science of mind, you realize that you have got to change. We will stay with this teaching as long as we don't have to change forever. We'll love it forever. Yep. And the ego, right? I can do this. I can demonstrate that. And that same ego, believe, I'm not talking about all of you. I'm talking about the way I was. that sees someone else with a problem thinking, what's wrong with your consciousness? That's someone who needs to know what love is. But now, each one of us is uniquely created, and so the other thing about love is there's no right way. It's the way love moves in you, a unique way. Each one of us, in expressing love, the love that we are, will come up with a different answer, a different point of view. I was listening to a wonderful minister friend of mine, Reverend Lee Wallach, talk. He likes to give little Facebook Live talks, and I tune into him while I'm getting ready in the morning, if I remember it, if I think about it. But he said something the past couple of days that I said, ooh, I like that a lot. That as human beings, we tend to think that there's only two choices before us in any particular moment, right? This way or that way, yes or no, good or bad, da, da, da. We tend to break it down and thereby limit it to two choices. Do I say yes? Do I say no? And what we want to realize in love, there are infinite choices. The world has broken itself down to, right? Republican or Democrat, boom. Or I'm liberal and you're conservative, boom. Or this is good, this is bad. And so much of that is social media proclaimed loud and clear. If you made a little mistake, boom, you're totally bad. If you did something a little bit good, boom, you're a star, whatever. It's and in that yes, no kind of thinking, we are limiting ourselves because there always is infinite choices for us to make. And because each one of us is unique, different from everyone else, there's only one best choice for you, but it doesn't look like anyone else's choice. There's infinite people, infinite choices we can think of as each one of us gets one choice that's right for us that is unlike anyone else's choice. Love, in accepting the spiritual truth that life is infinite and that we are somehow divinely created to express this life in a unique way, and love being the self-givingness of who we are, there is only one way for each one of us to express. And for each one of us, this is the way it looks right now. This is the way I look right now. I am giving all that I'm getting in this moment. I'm not always giving all that I'm getting, but right now, because I'm here, I'm giving all that I am getting. And so, whether I sound loving or not is irrelevant. I'm giving all that I am getting. It is the activity of love. And then it may be right now that that's true of each one of you. When you're really paying attention to something, you're giving all of your attention to it. I've been trying to knit this, major project right now while I'm watching the Olympics. And it's slow knitting because I knit during the commercials. So not giving my full love and attention to the commercials, but boom, when it comes back to the athlete, boom, I'm there. I have to give it my full attention, all that I am. So whatever it is that we are, when we give all that we are, that's the highest activity of love. And the law makes it possible. The law brings to us the fulfillment of that which was within our heart. So the love guides us. And at a certain point in this teaching, we realize we've got to listen to the inner guidance. Right? That's the biggest hurdle, I think, in our teaching, is to get my opinion of the way my life should be is too small for it to be true for me. It's filled with false beliefs and issues and what happened to me in my childhood. And it's too much manipulated by my unconscious, unhealed wounds that are always showing up all over the place, or very, very easily manipulated by what everybody else is saying. And here I am, here you are, right? A unique being. And the science of mind requires us to grow continuously in self-definition. That we don't just grow in how to do a spiritual mind treatment and demonstrate all over the place and heal this and heal that and whatever. Yes, all that's included, but it includes growing in self-identification. That the identity of yourself grows from little me, being a victim of everybody, closed off, separated, nobody loves me, all that sort of stuff, to wait a minute. It's irrelevant whether anyone loves me or not. I am love, and I am here to give of myself, whether anyone else likes it or not. And so, in growing, we move from separated, it's only me, myself, and I, to identifying with one. We are one. It's interesting, as I've grown in, in my journey of practicing spiritual mind treatment on bigger and bigger aspects of the world, my personal desires have had to get released. If you want really great weather, it'll only work so far. That it's a sunny day for me and my picnic. Because the weather, we know, affects all. And none of us would want a beautiful sunny day for our picnic if we knew it was going to cause a major tornado elsewhere on the planet. But see, we can't know that information, but what we can know is that there is perfect weather for all. And that includes for me. And then open up to discovering that. But you see, the self-identity has to really expand to be able to successfully do a spiritual mind treatment for larger and larger aspects of our world. It begins with like me and myself and for me, but then we begin to do spiritual work for the companies that we are a part of, for the families that we are a part of, for whatever group that we choose to identify with. We have an impact of the group that we join. I join a new knitting class, I have an impact on that knitting class. Why? Because I'm part of the thought of that class. And so I want to have a good experience, and I want to knit a really great sweater, and I want this woman to stop being weird to me. But that's little small identification of Karen. There is the greatest good of all, where everyone in the class has a wonderful time. I remember back when I was an actress, I would sing opera at a certain point. Now, of course, I would do a spiritual mind treatment that I am able to sing and everything's perfect and I, get it all right, whatever. But then I remember when the door opened and I'm like, well, what about everybody else? The whole performance, everyone involved, including the entire audience. It's one idea. So we watch our consciousness grow, but the consciousness cannot grow with a little teeny opinion of yourself, a teeny opinion of the law, a teeny opinion of love. It all has to grow together, synchronously, as we expand in our self-giving. And so that's what it's about. We all know that story, that a delegation of all the greatest peace activists were all stuck on a ship to go somewhere to a peace conference to decide, how to have world peace, and they all had the biggest fight on the ship that no one was speaking to each other at the end of the journey. I don't know how true the story is, but it's a good one. But that's because everybody was having too small an idea of peace, their little opinion of peace, instead of, no, there is a peace that I cannot understand. But together, we can all know more of it. So we need to listen to each other. What are we doing when we listen to each other, right? We're getting to know each other, which is we are getting to love each other. Right? That old saying, don't judge a person until you've walked a mile in their shoes, means get to know them. Get to know their story. Given their givens, you might be making some of the same choices that they're making. But you're not. You're uniquely you. So divine love is at the very beginning, the very start, the very core of the Science of Mind teaching, because Ernest Holmes, being an embodiment of love, wanted to give what he had learned about the law to the world, to set them free. And his whole life, he could not stop talking about it and practicing it and sharing it, inviting more and more people. He had more honorary degrees from around the world than I could even count, all up on the walls of the Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, because he gave of himself. And that is why the Science of Mind teaching was birthed. So you cannot really understand this Science of Mind teaching without understanding love more and more and more. And so it's not necessarily in the words of the first three parts of this book, but if you go toward the end of the book where he just threw in the kitchen sink, it's everywhere. And as you, in Tessera Content, my intention is to take the wisdom that he spoke in his talks, and these talks were published after his transition off the planet. So the talks that he gave those last 10 years of his life are just filled with who we are being and less about the law, because by the 1950s, he figures everybody knows the law now. Let's get back to our self-definition. And it culminated for him in a cosmic consciousness experience, where he had so connected with the one, with the all, that he actually saw it while he was giving it a talk. And he said, right, I see it. I see it. Oh, the veil is so thin. And now I'm done. We can hear those words. We can see them written. So the basics of the Science of Mind, yeah, the law, the mind, how it all worked, da-da-da-da. But then what is the motor? What's the why? Why bother? It's love. That's why. And it's who we are. Nobody's missing any love. Nobody's lacking any love. Nobody needs to be any better to be more lovable. You got all the love you need. We just need to be aware of it, right? And accept it and get to know it, right? So with these thoughts, Reverend Rich is ready to jump in and, with that music, get the love in our heart, something going.
Love is but the song we sing is the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. No, the dove is on the wing. You need not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some will come and some will go. We shall surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you must understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's here at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now, right now.
All right, so this word is being spoken for each one here. All there is love, and love has a wonderful law which obeys, fulfilling the desires that are lovely planted in each one's heart. And so each one knows that they are love, love personified, just the way they are in all their magnificence and all their uniqueness, unlike any other expression of love, but absolutely a full and complete manifestation of the life, the love, the light, the power, the peace, the harmony, the beauty, the order, the joy that is omnipresent. And at love's command is this wonderful loving law that says yes to love and makes it visible in each one's world. I am grateful that this is the truth. I release this word to the law. I know the law takes care of it, and it is done. Thank you, law. And so it is.
So it is. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now, right now.
All right, so that's the way it was and is. All right, so good morning. Yes, love is an atmosphere. Yes, Margie, good. Thank you. And Robert Hummel, he says, beautiful message. Thank you so much. Clee, Arlene, Deborah, hello. See you there. Okay, and I've said hello to everybody else. So next week, I won't be here, but you'll have Reverend Janice unmasking you, and then the mascara ballo afterwards. So please come to our center and enjoy, or tune in live.